Hello, and welcome everybody. So good to have you here. Welcome everyone. My name is Nina Robert, and I'm your host for 3-day workshop, The Success Equation, your 2024 Prosperity Formula. So welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. Um, so this is a 3-day workshop. It will take place also tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. CET, 5 p.m. UK time, and midday Eastern time, as well as Wednesday at the same time. So be sure to be here. Also, it's being live streamed right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So let's get started. Get a pen and paper, and you'll be ready to take some notes. And we have a few exercises to do together as well. So tell me in the chat, where are you joining us from today? And if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, also tell me in the comments. So excited to have you here, all of you. So let's get started. So first question, why are we here today? Why have you decided to join us today? My guess is you have a desire, a dream or goal that you want to achieve. You want better results in life. Or you don't have a goal, but you want to set one and you don't know exactly how to set the right one. So whatever is your purpose behind or your intention behind joining us, feel free to share it if you want. And let's get started. So first things first, let's set an intention for today. Ask yourself a question, ask universe a question. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to do after this 3-day workshop formula? What do you want to learn? And let's let it sink in and let that in mind, and let's start from there. So my first thing to tell you is that freedom, prosperity, abundance, and success, all of these things are skills that you guys can learn and can perfect and can achieve in life quite easily if you know how and where to start, and if you have the right tools to do that. So skill, freedom, prosperity, and abundance, all of this is not by chance, is not a talent that some of us have and some of us don't. It's something that you can learn and you can perfect. You just need to have the right tools, and you just need a step-by-step formula, and this is exactly what I'm going to give you. So let me share my screen and let's get started. All right. So a few housekeeping rules. As I said, this meeting is being live streamed on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you joined us using the registration link, you must have received a few emails already, and you will be receiving a few more emails with all the workshop resources that you will be needing, including the workbooks and a few other resources and tools you will be needing during these 3 days. Also, there will be replays, so if you are not able to join us live, or if you're not able to join us during the whole 3 days of the workshop, there will be replays that will be sent to you via email, and they will also be available on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I also want you to stay until the end and to join us during all the sessions, so that you'll get the best out of this workshop. So next, my story. Who am I and what am I doing here with you today? So I'm a success and mindset mentor. I'm also an author of a book called Clean Up Your Life that was published a couple of years ago. And before that, I was a manager for an IT multinational company and worked there. I worked in the same field for over a decade. And just until the last few years, I was quite satisfied with my life, to be honest. So I was getting good results. I was fairly happy, and eventually it started to get boring. Eventually, I was feeling that I was getting too comfortable, and getting too comfortable meaning I was not growing, I was not learning much, and I was not going anywhere new. So it got kind of boring, and still, I didn't take action. I didn't want to change anything because I didn't know what do I want to achieve more than that. I just knew I could be or do more. I just didn't want to make a change right away. Um, and second, there wasn't really a trigger or a spark that would allow me to go and decide and make this change until something happened. So I received some bad news, and these bad news actually turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. So not all bad news are bad, just not immediately at least. My bad news was actually I was diagnosed with a disease, and my first reaction was a shock. I was feeling sorry and sad and kind of depressed, sorry for myself, and feeling kind of that this is unfair and why me, the reasoning. And then eventually I started thinking, I actually have a choice to do or to react or to respond the way that I want to respond. And I have a choice either to, I wouldn't say play the victim, but accept that I was a victim and accept that this is unfair, that my life was over and I can't do anything about that. Or I would do my best to get the best out of it and maybe get better results in life and maybe heal myself and my body. And for me, that was the trigger. That was the wake up call. So even though the voice inside my head was always telling me that I can be and achieve more, still, I didn't make the decision to change until something happened. So my takeaway was this hasn't doesn't have to be always the same case. We don't have to have an emotional impact for us to change. We can change using something else. There is elite mentorship and having a clear formula to follow. And this is easier and this is much more comfortable and this is much more effective and we can do it at any point of our life. So this is where it all started for me. I decided to change and I decided to have a new perspective in life and I decided to have a goal and go after it and get it. So what I did was I looked for a mentor and I find the first guy I found on the internet was the famous Bob Proctor. And this man completely changed my perspective and my whole life, all my results in life. And up until now, um, he changed my goal and he allowed me to know my purpose. And my purpose was this. I was going to do this. I was going to create this business and I was going to help people wake up and decide what they want to do with their life and then teach them how to go there and how to get there. So that's me. And with that, I want to ask you a question. So I want you to relax and to start from the assumption that there are no limitations. Forget about your environment, your skills, your current skills, all of the circumstances around you, and ask yourself truly and honestly, what do you really, really want? What do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to get? What's the first thing that you really want? So to give you a few hints, sometimes it's not evident, it's not obvious for us to have a goal and to decide exactly what we want because it's not something that we're used to think about. It's not a kind of conversation that we have with ourselves every day. So a worthy goal, for a goal to be worthy of you, it should have three prerequisites, if you will. First of all, it should be something you've never done before. It should be something completely new. So if you want something that you've already achieved or kind of achieved or got something similar in the past, it's probably not the right goal. It's okay to want something again and again. That's totally fine, but don't think of it as a goal, because a goal needs to be something completely new that you don't know how to do it, that you've never achieved or done before. The second prerequisite is that your goal should allow you to grow. It should allow you to stretch, and it should allow you to express your full potential. And the third prerequisite is that the goal should be uncomfortable. It should make you scared and uncomfortable. It's like a new thing that you're doing and you don't know exactly how to get there, but still you want it. It feels exciting, you feel motivated, and you feel passionate about it. These are the three prerequisites for a goal. So first thing should be something new that you've never got or achieved before. Second, it should allow you to grow and to express your full potential. And third, it should push you to grow and stretch. In terms of being uncomfortable, should be scary. So if your dream does not scare you, you're probably not dreaming that big. So allow yourself to just disregard, completely ignore your current circumstances, your current opportunities, your current level of skills, and whatever you think that's possible for you right now. Just ignore all of that and think truly and honestly, what do you really, really want the most? So, how to set a worthy goal? When I say a worthy goal, sometimes we think that we should be worthy of our goal. Do I deserve it? But it should be the other way around. The goal should be worthy of you. You owe it to yourself to grow and express your full potential. So a goal should allow you to do that. And for a goal to be enough for you to do that, it should be worthy. It should be big enough. And this is what we mean by a worthy goal. So there are three types of goals. Let's call them A, B, and C. A goal is the example I talked about earlier, is what you've already done, but you want maybe more of the same. So like, for example, if you already have a car, you wanted a new car or a similar one, that's something you already achieved. That's something you know exactly how to do. So this is not a worthy goal. I'm not saying it's not okay to have this kind of wants. Totally fine, go and get it, but don't define it as a goal because it's not worthy, it's not big enough. B-type goal is that when you have a specific plan and you can see exactly what you need to do, and you can define a deadline and be sure that with the required resources, you're going to be able to be there. That's the B-type goal. And even if this is better and bigger than A-type goal, it's still not big enough. Let's say an example. For example, if you want to have a trip by July next year, you can make a plan, you can make an itinerary, and you can plan the cost of the trip. And you can say, if I save this amount of money each month, in 6 months, I'll be able to do this trip. This is a B-type goal. It's something new, but yet it's something completely achievable and very clear because you have a specific plan. This is the B-type goal, and this is also not good enough for us. The C-type goal is what I want you to set for you right now, is something completely new that you've never done before, something that feels scary, and something that will allow you to grow as a person and to express more of you and to bring more of you to the party. So how do we set a goal? What are the steps? There are 3 definite steps to a C-type goal. First thing is to let yourself fantasize, to let yourself dream, and to dare to dream, to have an honest conversation with you, and to ask yourself, what do you really, really want? This is the first step. When you're sure about this, or when you have at least a first draft of what you really want, write it down and let's start from there. The second step is to transform the dream or the fantasy into a theory or a plan. So how do we do that? We must ask ourselves just two questions. Am I able and am I willing? Now, science and theology both tell us that the human potential is absolutely unlimited. So you are definitely able. So the first reply to the first question is, I'm able. Definitely, you are. The second response should also be yes to am I willing? And what do I mean by am I willing? Is that this goal is going to come with a price, is going to come with a sacrifice to make, and it's going to come with challenges to accept and with investments to make. Maybe you need to sacrifice an hour of sleep every day. Maybe you need to sacrifice an amount of money to invest into something to turn it into a business or to turn it into an additional income. Maybe you need to stretch and learn a new skill and then start a new career. And maybe you need to get rid of your limiting beliefs and dare to do more things. So, are you willing to pay this price? Are you willing to invest whatever it takes and do whatever it takes to go after a goal and to never let go until you're there? So, are you able? Are you willing? Both responses should be a definite yes. The third step is to transform the theory or the plan into a fact, the result, how to get there. So first of all, we should plan the vision. We should write down the vision. For a goal to be achievable and visible to us, we should get emotionally involved with it. We should see it in our head first. So if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. So how do I do that? How do I get emotionally involved and how do I see it in my head? First thing, humans think in pictures. So when you think about your goal, try to make the picture as vivid and as clear as possible. And when you do that, when you get emotionally involved with it, hold the idea in your head and go there as often as possible. If you can meditate on it every day, do it. If you can write it down every day a few times, do it. Do whatever it takes to keep the image in your mind over and over and over again. Repetition here is key. So first we dream. Second, we make a decision and we commit to do it. And third, we build the picture and we focus on it and we get emotionally involved with it. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to tell me in the chat. I'm going to have a look. Or if you're watching the replay, also post your questions in the comments. I'll make sure I'll get back to you. So what's next? And that's the first exercise I need you guys to do today. I'll be sending you a goal card in the email with the links and the workbook for today. And in the goal card, we will set up a date. So set yourself a date for you to have achieved that goal by then. So let's see, for example, around Christmas time next year, you will be getting whatever that you want right now. And make sure you start by saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that, and state your goal in the present tense. Now, why do we do that? First of all, we want to trick our brain into believing that this already happened. And as I said, if you can hold the image in your head, you can achieve it. You can have it in your physical reality. So in order to do that, in order to make this easier for you and more reachable, you have to trick your brain into believing it already happened, because it already happened on some level. You just have to reach that level. So how do we do that? First of all, we have to express gratitude, and gratitude will raise your vibration. It will put you in a good mood, and it will get you even more emotionally involved with the goal. Remember that the prerequisite to achieve whatever you have to want it, and you have to be emotionally involved with it. So first thing, I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then you state your goal as specifically as possible. So I'll be sending you this goal card. You'll have to download it, print it if you want, and then write down your goal. You can write different versions of the same goal, and then perfect it and write it over and over again every day until you reach the perfect formula that makes sense and that you're most emotionally involved with. And that's where you start. Any questions so far? Alrighty. We have some homework to do. So we can start right now if you want, but what I want you to do, at least before session 2, is to do the exercises in the workbook I'm going to show you right away, and then decide on a specific goal and then write it on the goal card I'll be sending you. And then come back tomorrow for session 2. So let me show you the workbook. So here it is. First exercise is to sit back, let your body relax, and ask yourself, what do you really want to be, do, or have? That's the first exercise, and you have the space to fill it up here. The second question is describe in as much detail as possible your feelings, assuming your wish was already fulfilled. So what we want from here is to get you emotionally involved. So the more you keep track and you get accurate and clear on your feelings, the closer you'll get to your goal and the easier for you to become emotionally involved with it. So describe in as much detail as possible your emotions, your feelings, assuming that you finally achieved your goal. How would that make you feel? And then third step, write a statement in the present tense, starting with, I'm so happy and grateful now that, affirming that you are that person. What do you look like? Where do you live? What's your life like? And what do you do? So a very important step of goal achievement is to become a new person, to become the person that that goal would come to. In order to become that person, we need to know who that person is. We need to grow into that person. So in order to know who that person is, ask yourself these questions. How does this person look like? Where do they live? What's their life like? How do they act and talk to people? And what are you doing with your life? Describe this person in as much detail as possible and hold the picture in your mind. And the last exercise is this is like a checklist for you to boost your mood and raise your vibration. So what I want you to do here is to list all the activities, places, or experiences that evoke positive feelings in you. Create a list and use it to shift your energy wherever you find yourself stressing, doubting yourself, or feeling limited or lacking. So we want to get emotionally involved, and in order for us to stay emotionally involved and motivated and positive, we have to have tools. We have to have like a package of things that we need to use in order to keep ourselves in this high vibration and this good mood and to keep ourselves motivated. So create a list of things that make you feel good, that raise your vibration, that boost your mood, and come back to this list whenever you need it. All right. And then you have a few other notes that you can take. So take as much space as you want. And this is for day one. So I'll be sending you this workbook as well as a few other resources for you um, to do until tomorrow. And we have a question. So from Marwa, I want to ask you about the goals, please. Can we have categories, personal, professional, or else? And how many goals can we set in order to make it effective, 2 or more per each category? So I think you should have a personal and a professional goal. So a personal goal could be anything from a trip to a new relationship to more income, to something that you want to have, or a skill that you want to learn, or a business that you want to launch, anything that would impact your personal life and allow you to grow. And the professional goal could also be financial, could also be starting your business, or if you're working with a team, could also be growing the company and working with a team on a specific project. So my advice is to have a personal and a professional goal. And what else? We need to focus on one goal at a time. So set a personal and a professional goal, focus on one at a time. When you achieve one, go to the next. So if you have, for example, 2 personal goals, just decide what you want most, what you want right now. If everything was possible for you, what do you really, really want? And the funny thing is, once you're there, you will want something even bigger. But you're going to be able to start from a different place. You're going to be able to start from a different kind of awareness, from a different level of knowledge, of consciousness, and of skill. So one goal at a time, one professional and one personal. Second question from Amira. Can we find it in the group, the workbook? Of course, yes, it's in the group. You have under the guide section, you'll have 3 workbooks for all the 3 days. They're already there, and you also will be receiving them via email. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Amira. Okay. So I suggest we can go even further and learn about energy. So we are spiritual beings. We have an intellect and we live in a physical body. That's our structure. And this is how energy flows through the body. So let's take a look at this picture of the stick person. It's a depiction of, it's an illustration of the mind. When we tend to think about the mind, usually people think about their brain, but your mind is all of your being. It's everywhere and it's at all places in all times. So, so the first circle is divided in 2. We have the conscious mind and we have the subconscious mind. So your conscious mind is where your thoughts, your intellect, your knowledge is. And the subconscious mind is where your emotions, your beliefs, be it negative or positive beliefs, and where all what we call paradigms are stored. And what paradigms are a series of habits or a multitude of configurations, if you want, that trigger all kinds of reaction in us and control most of our behavior and our reactions to the world around us. So this is all in the subconscious mind. And what happens is that 95 to 90% to 96% of our behavior is subconscious. We are on autopilot most of the time, and we can't even think about why we do the things that we do the certain way. why we prefer certain colors and not others, why we prefer certain foods and not others, and why do we act or feel comfortable or uncomfortable in different situations. So all of this is stored in our subconscious mind in what we call the paradigm. And what the paradigm does is that it controls also our limits. So when we set a goal, the first emotion that we'll probably be feeling is discomfort, is fear. And what fear means is that our paradigm is telling us this is scary, this is unknown, I've never done this before, this is not stored into my software. I don't have a formula for this. I don't have any way to do that because I don't know how to do it. So it's better that we don't do it and that we stay where we are and do the things that we already learned and mastered. So this is what the paradigm does. And most of the time, the paradigm is there to protect you, actually, is there to just keep you comfortable and allow you to survive. The main purpose of it, the paradigm, is your survival. But your conscious mind is where you gather ideas and is whether you structure thoughts into ideas, and you know better than just staying comfortable and staying where you are. So this is the relationship between the paradigm and the conscious mind and new ideas. And you also have the energy flow that's coming all the way down through your body, through your mind. So when energy comes through you, you use that energy to structure thoughts, to build ideas, and then use this energy to transform the ideas into emotions. So when you think of something, it triggers an emotion. Sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive, and this emotion will eventually move your body into action. So we have the first step, an idea. Second step, the emotion. The third step is the action. What happens is energy is just is. It's everywhere and it's always flowing through and to you. And what you do with this idea, you structure thoughts. These thoughts trigger actions, trigger emotions, and these emotions trigger your body into moving into actions. And eventually, through the law of cause and effect, every action has a reaction, and your actions will cause your results. So if your thoughts are limited, if you're not getting any new ideas, you're not getting emotionally involved with anything, you will still recycling the limiting beliefs and you will not going to move your body to action. And if you're not doing anything new, nothing new or nothing amazing, profitable, successful is going to come to you by chance. You have to actually have done something. You have to have put the effort. You have to have invested time, money, or whatever you have to put out there for results to come to you. So if we're going the opposite way, for the results to come to you, for your goal to come to you, you have to move into action. How do you trigger your body into moving to action? You trigger emotions, and this is why we said it's absolutely crucial that you stay emotionally involved with the goal. And how do we get emotionally involved with the goal? We choose our thoughts, we build new ideas, we build a plan, and we also remind ourselves with why do we want this goal. So we have to start with the idea, we have to start with the thought. The thought will trigger the emotion, and the emotion will trigger your body into action. And eventually, the result will come to you through your action via the reaction of the universe or other people or whatever it is that you are trying to attract. Any questions so far? Yeah, I see a question from Amira. The limiting beliefs come sneaking, and what do you suggest keeping focused on the goal? First of all, my best thing to go to is gratitude. Focus on gratitude, especially first thing in the morning. I do my gratitude exercise first thing in the morning. With my coffee, I list 10 things I'm grateful for, and among these 10 things are things that I have already achieved, that I'm already grateful for, that already happened in my physical reality, and other things that have not happened yet, but still I'm grateful for because I already have the idea of them. And by holding the idea in my mind, by feeling grateful for them, I'm sure they are manifesting in my physical reality. So this is the first thing to do to combat, if you will, those limiting beliefs, to be grateful, even for the things that you don't have yet. And second thing, to use your focus. Use your focus and use repetition to auto-suggest what you're capable of, and auto-suggest whatever limiting belief that you want to transform into a strengthening belief, if you will. So if your limiting belief is that, for example, I feel uncomfortable speaking in public, that's my limiting belief, for example. So my affirmation would be, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm very comfortable speaking to hundreds of people in public. And I will be repeating that over and over again. So you see, first, the gratitude. I'm setting myself to be in a grateful state, in a positive state. And second of all, I'm using repetition to keep myself involved with the idea. So a limiting belief has an opposite. So identify this limiting belief and then identify its opposite, and then work from there. Affirm the opposite and repeat it over and over and over again until it sticks into your mind, until it becomes the new belief. And I have another question from Nada. What can we do to identify what we really, really, really want in life? I've already asked myself this question, but I find it hard to answer. Any tips to answer it easier? Of course. So I have another exercise for you to do. Make a want list. Make it like a shopping list. All the things that you want, could be between 10 to 30 things, for example. All the things that you want to have, places you want to go to, emotions that you want to feel, things you want to buy, anything that you ever wanted but haven't gotten yet. Make a list of all these things. Then what you want to do is divide this list into 3 categories, A, B, or C. A is that you know exactly how to do it. If you want to buy something like a gift for yourself, you know exactly like what you need to do it, and then you can do it right away. B is something that needs a plan, but it looks achievable, it looks easy. So if I get this, I can do that. That's the B type. And then you'll get the scary part. You get the C type goals. The things that scare you the most, the things that feel big and impossible, let's say, right now, because you don't have the resources or you don't have the opportunity, the income, or whatever it is that you need right away in your physical reality. This is the C type goal. And then from this list, you will choose what you want the most. We can start from there. And then eventually, as you write your goal over and over again, you will learn more about yourself. So when I first started this goal setting activity and exercise, I wrote 10 things that I wanted. And basically, the 10 things were achievable if I achieved this just one thing, because these were wants, they were not goals. So, like for me to have this kind of house, or this kind of car, or take this kind of trip, or whatever it is, for example, I just needed enough money, and then I'd be able to do all of these things. So start with the want list, and then eventually, as you write it down over and over again, it's just the first draft. So do other drafts and make the activity consistent and repetitive. Repetition is key, because every time you repeat it, you'll discover something in yourself that wasn't there before. Something else is gonna come out, a new idea, a new thought. You'll see something that you think, oh, I've always wanted that. I've never actually admitted to myself. But now that I decided to become more conscious about what I want, I now see things that I want, and I'm allowing myself to see them. It's tricky how our senses can shape our realities. We only see what we have awareness of. Like if I want you to focus on the color red, you're gonna start seeing red. You're gonna start seeing things around you, for example, that are in red color. If you started thinking about a business opportunity, for example, you will start hearing people talking about business. You will start participating in conversations about this kind of business. You will start making research over the internet, and eventually you'll start getting maybe ads about this kind of business, and so on and so on. So once you become aware of something, your senses will pick it up much easier, and you'll start seeing things. And then you'll say, oh, it's like I'm attracting it by magic. But it's actually how the brain works. It will show us whatever that we are aware of. All right. Any other questions? If we don't have any more questions, I'll let you do the exercises. I'll keep this for tomorrow. So again, the exercises is first to do the workbook. Second, to decide on a specific goal using the want list exercise, and then to write it down on a goal card. This is very important. I always carry my goal card with me all the time. So the trick with the goal card is that I have many copies of that, and it's laminated, so I can put it in my purse, in my pockets, it's everywhere. And whenever I see it, I would read it, and I'll get emotionally involved with it. And if I have a few moments, a few minutes, I'll read it over and over again. I'll write it over and over again, but I always make sure it's around me somewhere, so that my subconscious mind is always aware of it. So print your goal card, write down your goal, and then come back tomorrow for session 2. That was it for me today. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Are we clear on the goal setting exercise and the want lists? All right, so after the session is finished, I will send you another email with the replay link, as well as the workbook and the goal card to download. Otherwise, you'll find all of these things inside the Facebook group as well. And then tomorrow we'll be using the same link, but again, I'll be sending you another email with the link and with whatever tools that you'll need for day 2 and day 3. All right, with that, we finish our first session for this 3-day workshop. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.